Your ultimate weapon isn't force, it's courage with compassion, all rooted in love. Today, I'm blending this ancient warrior wisdom for my community as we navigate some real pain and suffering. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Voodoo Blends by Jack and another Sunday intuitive blending session. Today, we're diving deep into something that's been stirring in my heart and mind, the true meaning of being a warrior. Not not the kind you see in movies with swords and battles, but the kind that fights the most important battles of all, the ones within ourselves and for the betterment of our communities. So the blend today really has my local community in mind. We're experiencing some real pain and suffering right now. I've been reflecting on what this means to be a warrior in times like this. And I want to share kind of a little profoundment with you. A true warrior doesn't use violence or force. Violence is the act of violating someone else's free will. And that's not what this is about. It's not what we're about. Today's one is inspired by a different kind of strength, one that yields courage with compassion, all rooted in love. Uses peace as our shield and passion as our fuel and joy as the goal. So let me just kind of share a little bit more. Warrior redefined. Again, you think warrior, you think war, right? That's where your mind goes. But we're hurting right now in our community. And a warrior in the deepest sense is someone who courageously fights battles, interior, exterior, battles against ignorance, ego, and suffering. They use wisdom and compassion to achieve enlightenment for themselves and others. So doesn't mean you fight against things, you're fighting for things. We should fight for love, for understanding, our community to heal, for growth. The courage that comes from love, not fear. Um, so this is connected and all rooted in where I wanted to go today. So although sandalwood was the first oil that wanted to play today, I remember from last week at Orapalooza, um, Spikenard made its presence known. Literally, somebody came up to my table at the event and she just said, Spikenard. No rhyme or reason. She couldn't tell me why, but she told me that she was supposed to tell me Spikenard. Now, Spikenard it's grounding. It's like your vetiver. It is earth. It's dirt. It's smell. It's not the most prettiest smell. So it's very odd that somebody would come up and just say spikenard because that's not usually something you just drive to. Well, it was for a reason again. So um, because Orapalooza is very, intuitive blending and oracle cards type thing, I bring out tongue of trees. So I brought out, and uh, the poem that's in here. First of all, the card is labeled Inner Journey, which again, community wise, is going on. So I'm going to read a part of the poem. I'm not going to read the whole thing because you have to buy the deck to read the whole thing. But Spikenard, totally making sense for the blend today. I cool searing heat of terror as no other oil can. For tomorrow, as the flame begins to fade, you will rise transformed, phoenix like from the flames. I mean, is that not perfect for what's going on right now and how we can continue to move forward? So that's kind of the two what started. After that, woods, trees. I mean, again, we're how do we bend but not break? These are the trees. So we have two heavy duty trees here, and that's I was not surprised. I mean, I did not know that where this blend was going today, and the tree and the roots. It really makes a lot of sense once I'm putting this together. So let me introduce you to the oils that are going to be for Peaceful Warrior Blend. So not just individual healing, we are collectively healing for our community. Foundation, sandalwood. I did mention it was the first one that kind of came up. And so we're going to start with one drop. Beautiful sandalwood. Very subtle. So this is our foundation of the loved root peace and spiritual grounding. This is where when our communities are suffering, sandalwood really helps us connect back to that highest self, the part of us that remains centered even in chaos. It's the oil of the peaceful warrior who acts for love rather than reaction, especially when others around us are hurting. Spikenard, talked about it. I had a feeling. So again, it's a thick oil, but there we go. Here's one. That's a little very earthy. We're going to say earth. I'm not going to say dirt. But Spikenard, our connection to ancient wisdom, sacred tradition, it's rare, it's precious. This oil carries energy of deep spiritual insight and helps us access kind of timeless knowledge that really guides true warriors through difficult times. It grounds us in love again with elevating our consciousness and helping us find that courage to act with compassion when our community and ourselves need it most. White sage. Sage, you've heard sage, right? People burn sage, purify. There's a couple different sages out there. Ooh, almost got two. This is white sage, which is precious, so be careful. It's endangered. Herby. We've got boldness going on here in like some deep way. Anyway, okay, so this is for deep purification and clarity. Where there's pain and confusion in our community, this helps clear away that mental fog, emotional debris that can cloud our judgment. It helps us see situations clearly so we can respond as warriors of love again, rather than reacting from fear or ego. It creates that space for love rooted courage to emerge, even in the midst of collective suffering. We need a floral. We need that love we're talking about. Plus, we need to kind of bring this all together a bit. So here we go. Geranium, the mother of oils. Feminine. We got some masculine oils. Okay, spikenard. This toned down spikenard, toned down the sage. White sage isn't as camphorous as aficionado sage. Okay, so heart centered balance. This bridges that courage and compassion together. What our community is hurting. This helps us stay heart opened and maintain healthy boundaries. It's the oil that reminds us that true strength includes vulnerability and that our compassion for others must be rooted in self love first. You can't pour from an empty cup. Come on now. So, citrus. I needed a citrus. Yes, I started with sweet orange. Why wouldn't I start with sweet orange? It wasn't working. It wasn't reacting. So, I grabbed for both wild orange and blood orange. I put them kind of together. I smelled the caps like I normally do. Nothing was popping out. So you and I we're gonna do this right now. We do this together. So we're gonna take and we're gonna put, this is the blood orange one. Nice, subtle. It helps the floral, that geranium still stays there. It's pleasant. Pleasant. Pleasant, maybe not what we're going for. Let's try the wild orange. Mmm. Teeth. The back of the teeth. Mmm. That's a nice. That's. I can still smell everything now, just for the heck of it. We're gonna put both of them in here. Put them both together, and then we'll see. Then we'll finally see what goes on. Oh my, that is it. They both want to play. Who would have thought? I didn't try both when I originally. Wow. Okay, so let's go with one of each here, and then let's just round this baby out. Whoa, 3 came out. I don't really think that's gonna work out, but Mm, well, 3 wanted to play. All right, let's put one orange, one wild orange. That was the okay. I don't really get that geranium anymore, so I'm gonna try for one more geranium. I'm not, you don't know me, I don't like to really start over, but it's quite possible. Okay. Mmm. 2 geraniums, 3 blood orange. I would have happier taking 2. 1 wild orange. Mmm. Oh, that is nice. I one more sandalwood though. Just. Mmm. Yeah. Spikenard is in the background. Sage is in the background, which makes sense. They're base. Mmm. Yeah, I don't. So I know maybe the citrus seemed a little weird because, or odd. Why would I bring joy into a warrior blend? Well, sometimes warrior needs joy and hope. It's also hope, right? This revolutionary act to choose and hold space for light in a world that feels dark. This is where our love rooted courage transform into the kind of the joy that can heal not just ourselves but others. This is oh, I'm just yeah. I could maybe do another spikenard and white sage just because that kind of got lost with probably the 3 blood orange, but it's still there in a very background way. Very pleasant. Pleasant. Again, I probably pleasant's probably not the right way for warrior, but I feel the strength, I feel the grounding, I feel the roots, I feel the love because of that geranium. And I feel power. I mean, powerful, but not like ego power, but like I'm embodied. I'm okay. So, what does peaceful warrior mean to you, especially in your community, especially if you're hurting either internally again or in the community? What are you fighting for in your life, in your community right now? How can you root that fight in love? Please drop a comment below. Let me know. I love hearing about the battles you're choosing to fight in the courage and compassion instead of force. If this resonates with you, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more intuitive blending sessions where we explore how aromatherapy can support our deepest growth and transformation, both individually and collectively. Until next time, keep fighting the good fight with love as your foundation, courage as your strength, compassion as your guide. Happy blending, beautiful warriors. Your community needs you.